okay with that. We are getting into the game here. We're into the pistol round, and already we're seeing a decent set of utility on RBG side. And as for Triumph, they've got the same thing.
Yeah, I actually love the investment of utility here for both sides. They are likely to go to that heavy utility, and particularly RBG committing 3 players, or rather 4 players, my apologies, on that A side, Balk side of A. I like that a lot. It's not going to work out here in this particular setup, or at least it doesn't look like it, as it looks to be just a straight up B execution. But still, I like the thought. I like the idea.
Yeah, definitely have a decent read there. Trying to keep things adaptive here. Playing a retake setup is Walco. He doesn't have the kit. It's on the other side of things, and they're going to get a good bit of information here. There's a peek towards alt mid, and there's a peek towards bottom stairs. As now the B execute going to rain through. Pretty much everything mollied and smoked off as well, so couldn't have asked for a better setup right here. It's actually a deep CT smoke. And oh my god, Hex just spams one down straight through the smoke. See you later, Cynic. And now we got ourselves a 4-on-5. That's kind of what RBG was looking for, as they're looking to try and make their way through the smoke. Wolfie boosted up here. No one taking the fight here. No one else trying to drop because they know they have that advantage. Smoke goes into Banana. Flash to follow it up. Walco peeking forward here, but Cooper's in a really good spot to get himself 2 kills. He's got his teammate backing him up as well. It's a 3rd for Cooper. Cooper gets finally taken down, but he's done his job, and then some as B-Wills finds that last kill. A great round to start things out for Cooper.
Yeah, and a tough setup there for RBG, right? Like, you have a great idea of a setup. It was perfect if they go that direction. Unfortunately, they, Triumph. I don't know if it was a read. I don't know if that's something RBG pulls a lot. I have to imagine probably not. But Triumph just had the read. They knew exactly what to do, and they hit B and made it work. Cooper's great positioning, like we were talking about, really stepping that up and making it quite easy, simple for them to get those closing frags to pick up the pistol round. So we are seeing an investment here on this second round, though, for RBG. They want to get a little bit quick with it. And, well, it's not going to work out too well. It's not who drops along with Wiz in the mid position. So a tough position to be in, 5v3 in the favor of Triumph.
Yeah, we'll see what Hex can find here. He's got a lot of opponents on the end of this smoke, and he is going to fall off back towards site, maybe rely on his teammates. That's a really good bit of opening there that they send Cynic alone with the Mac 10. He will be taken down towards the end. The rotates have arrived, but with Hex going down, I think that should pretty much seal the round. You're going to see both Chop and Walco falling off pretty quickly here. I've noticed that the RBG boys, a couple of them have switched their profile picture to Wolf in his shades from DreamHack. That's one of my favorite moments from DreamHack.
That's pretty good. I mean, to be fair, Chop has a great profile picture as well. Just the classic Jujutsu Kaisen,
Is it an anime profile picture?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you can't go wrong with an anime profile picture.
Yeah. Literally the bluest eyes in anime. You have to take my word for that one, though. So that's a nice round, though, from Triumph. I really do like that they played it very simple, played the trades, did exactly what you would expect from a team of this caliber. Not really giving too much away, and you love to see that. So whilst they did invest pretty heavily AK-wise, they're going to be in a perfect position here to have a great, what will be the first gun round here after the save. Of course, that force buy from RBG puts them in a tough spot economically into this round.
Yeah, one little thing to mention as well is that this map should be pretty much, locked in for RBG. This is their best map. This is obviously their map pick. But Triumph have had their struggles on this map as well. They've also had their triumphs on it. But certainly, from the last time I believe I casted them, they lost 16-2 on this map versus Third Impact, and this is RBG's best map, so they're certainly going to be wanting to pick this one up. And that's a good start there. Chop knocks the head off of B-Wills and is going to delay or at least dissuade that B push from coming in any further. Now they're going to group up and head towards this A stack. Good news is they do have a player very pushed up into Torch here. Cooper taking the fight. Now the execute going to come in. They're all dropping down. Viz actually gets taken down without a kill as the smokes rain through. It's going to be very hard to get these players out of position here. Walco's still on site. Has to worry about Cooper helping out his teammate in mini pit. Able to get himself another kill. Still one player towards backup side who hasn't even made his presence known. Walco goes for more. Cooper now left alone in a 1v 4. So much to do and so little time to do it with no control, no bomb. And his back here, Cooper going to rotate back towards middle, catches a glimpse of Chop, but that's information gained. 25 seconds left. It looks like Cooper is going to just concede this round here.
I mean, you got to. What else do you do? I mean, you could try and go for this, but realistically, with what was 30 seconds now 15, you're never going to be able to pick up all these kills unless they're gifted over to you. But RBG's not going to be doing that. Not going to be making mistakes of that nature. So here we are, a nice round, an eco round as well for RBG, and I mean that's pretty much best case scenario, right? Look at the cash. They
Yeah.
are absolutely swimming in it. As
Two
well as
AKs as well.
Oh, you love to see that if you're an RBG fan, because
Oh, and the Op and Wiz, he put 7K in this round.
nice. I mean, listen, there's just no way you would be getting an op plus all that utility into this round if you don't have that sort of cash. And no way you would if that round went like it was supposed to. So Triumph, I mean, they're flat broke as well, and they make a big mistake there. Not only walking into that stack, but just allowing for some sloppiness. No trade frags available.
Yeah, there's definitely a little bit of a rough round to start things off. I think that Chop did such a good job of finding those, well, really finding that one pick on B that kind of make them want to hit the A bomb site and kind of want to hit, or rather walk into that stack, and then all of a sudden you've got, 2 players to clear out in sight, 1 in pit, and then 1 fighting for Moto. It's just impossible to break through there. Nice damage on the Chop, though. He's not going to have the same luck he did in the previous round, as it does look like Cynic just trying to control the mid side of this map and work his way up against Wiz, who is smoked off now.
It's a good position, though. Slow and methodical this round is Triumph. They don't want to give anything away too early like they did in the prior round. They've seen the danger that just the Deagle can bring, and now with the rifles, it's even more dangerous. So it looks like the group up is towards A, though, here. Triumph ready and waiting. This AWP is Wiz. Gets that first frag. Flash goes out to repeat. A little bit of a whiff on the flash. It's okay, Wiz.
What's important
There's nobody there anyway,
What's important is that he also, pushed the enemies off with that flashbang. But with 20 seconds left, they are basically having to run into the site with very little control here. You still have to take care of Wiz, who's in library holding things down, and yeah, Hex from Pit just gonna find them all. 1 Mac 10 kill. That was a flawless round. Hex and Pit finds all of the kills, and that is just kind of delaying out that round way too long, and all of a sudden there's just no time left. And obviously, still had to take care of Wiz, who was on the in library just posted up. It's just so many different angles you had to worry about.
Did Triumph just hire Blade? Like, what just happened? They just, sat for a minute 40 and then decided to go at 5 seconds left.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I really, in Inferno at the very least, I don't have that much expectations for them. I think that this map, you could safely say, is in RBG's hands, at least on paper. But yeah, they certainly seem a little bit lost in that default.
You remember what happens when we talk about paper, Ben? The paper doesn't matter.
True.
At all. But true, you're right. You're definitely right. Triumph, they did look a little bit lost there, to be fair.
It's just RBG's best map. I don't know. This is going to be a really rough start to the series for them.
You're right. Like, yes, I agree with you. On paper, this looks very much RBG, and they're doing a great job there in the first gun round as well as the second. But I'm a little worried for Triumph. That just didn't look great, is what I was getting at. And this does look a little better, but it is just an eco. Ready and waiting. His shot finds 2, but does get killed. And now it's Wolf who's waiting and gonna get 2 frags. Might even pick up a third here. Those eco frags, of course. You love to see them. That's me. I'm an eco fragger. No other fragger, of course. But
Yeah, that's a very good round there. Only 1 going down, so obviously able to keep up on the money.
7K, 8K.
Yeah,
Look
that's so
cash.
good. All off the back of that eco round that really was only the saved pistols from the previous round as well. That just put them in such a good position to continue to snowball this lead on their CT side. And even the setups that they have on the CT side are looking very strong. They've got, on the round where they give up full arch control, they rotate 2 players into CT spawn to make sure that they're covering their back, because they send they know that that position is open, and just, you know, making sure that they're aware of their bases. RBG really checking all the boxes here. We'll see if they're able to get this other one. As they do have 2 players up in CT. It's actually a boosted up player in shop, and they don't expect it after fighting that first player. It's good dink though, but still 2 picks, and they've got to take control of this site. They've got to get the bomb down even, as at the very least you got Walco and Shop taken down quite low, and certainly 3 players you want in this situation. Cynic, Cooper, and B-Wills holding down the line.
Well, retake has to be strong, but with 5 players, it's certainly looking to be. That being said, Chop is quite low, and Walker is tagged down to 50 HP, so it's gonna have to be beautiful. But oh, look at that utility! It's so beautiful. Forced out in the open, it's V-Wills, but he picks up 2 somehow. But Wolf, with 2 frags of their own, swings out, and Hex with the final one. It looked a little dicey there as V-Wills made a play, but RBG with a great retake. Albeit a bit expensive, but still a very good retake. I really loved all of that utility coming out from them, setting it up on the CT side.
Yeah, that's exactly what you can expect there. They obviously find 2 kills from Chop, making that round what feels to be nearly impossible, and then they follow it up with all of this retake utility, which pretty much seals the deal, despite, you know, B-Will's best efforts, despite how good that looked for B-Will's. The kind of coordination on this map is just a little bit better, and it allows RBG to pick up another one. And now we're doing the same sort of setup towards Arch here. Wiz does look like he's going to rotate back over into Library. It's a pretty strong setup, and that's kind of been the name of the game right there for RBG. They've just had so many different setups to worry about, and it seems like Triumph are just a little bit worried about taking control of the map here.
Well, and not only the setups, but those rotations you were talking about, like, RBG have been pretty solid, I mean, very solid to be fair, on those, and that just makes it so difficult because Triumph feel that they're walking into a stack every time because of it. Here comes another push. Wolf on the site, finds 2, does get killed, Hex is still there to try and pick up some frags. Recovering them 4, though, gets 1. This shakes Zula, but it is quickly going to be shut down. Wiz, what a great couple of shots with that Deagle.
Yeah, I mean, good eco. If they would have got bombed out, it would have been kind of the dream scenario. This time, though, we do have a key change. It's Cooper on the AWP. That could be something to look forward to if you're a Triumph fan. It can be Cooper's availability to open up things. Also, I really want to look to Cynic to try and find these openings. Last time that I watched him, it was a lot of, you know, Cynic being allowed to do his thing, kind of work the map and push forward here. Maybe he can do that once again and try and get Triumph a couple of these gun rounds here. So far, it's been all RBG all the way. I mean, that round, I think we saw the most go down in a while. That's a phenomenal nade as well. And Walco's just going to hold the angle here. He's got Cooper right on the other end. Oh, this is going to be a devastating match if Cooper just swings. Although he does have, oh my god. I was about to say he had a couple teammates to trade, but Cooper, you looked ready for that play.
Yeah, he kind of did. Or at least prepare for the potential, you know, of a player close by. And, well, a well-timed bit of utility there that Molly gonna stall this push out for a short amount of time. Nade, touchdown, straight onto Chop's feet. Down to 42 HP without even seeing him.
What?
Wiz, though, what a great shot. As that's another there for Wolfie. And Chop creeps around the smoke. Missed shot from the AWP. Gives Chop another opportunity, but he falls. Now it's 2 on 3 here. Triumph are on the site, but they have really fallen one by one. Low HP on this AWP player, and the bait is so strong. That was an incredible play there from Triumph to bait that out. Now 2 on 2.
Yeah, I think they expect the play to be banana because of the kill that Wolf got earlier. Bomb's been tapped, and that's a crucial kill from Hex. Gonna make Cynic very uncomfortable. Time pressure gonna start to play a factor here. As Cynic, again, he's still worried about that player banana. He gets caught with the bomb out. There's nothing you can do there. Wolf's position, or rather his reposition from mid to just rotating back to group up with his teammate was so effective there. You saw that he was afraid of that the whole time. Phenomenal job from RBG. I don't know how in the world they recover that round.
I mean, just winning gunfights #1, and Triumph, they they really made some mistakes getting onto that site. They didn't clear that site very effectively. Those smokes that they threw actually a little bit off, and they gave a lot of opportunities for RBG to create one-on-ones. So you got
Yeah.
to be careful of those, as they do have a buy in here, Triumph. Somehow, honestly, I don't know how, considering they didn't get a bomb plant, but props to them. They found the money somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the loss bonus helps out quite a bit.
True.
Oh, that nade. Luckily doesn't do too much damage. Chop got away, but still one that doesn't go down towards bottom banana. Not like it would have done much damage, but either way. It's going to be another pretty rough A-side hit with the fact that there's so many players stacked up here. Walco kind of holding this information towards the top of banana. Going to make things a lot more difficult. And yeah, you're going to see just 4 players stacked up with a minute left in the round. And a little bit less weaponry here. They even have 2 players to watch this arch, waiting for that flashbang. Chop peeks out. He even finds a deke, but it's through the wall. Unable to find himself another kill here as B-Well is going to hold things down as Walco just runs through the smoke. So good lurk. That pretty much makes the B bomb site wide open for the taking here, and that's exactly where Triumph is going to go. Now Viz in the pit here, ready to jump up here. A lot of footsteps. Somehow kills Wolf, but does get taken down instantly afterwards. Good spam through the smoke from B-Wells. Just a little bit of damage traded back and forth. And yeah, he'll fall off pretty quickly after. Knows the last 2 players are here. And it does look like they're interested in continuing this take. I imagine the save call will come through. And yeah, there it goes. Watching their flank here is Cooper. Expecting it. Cooper unable to find anything. And that'll be another round. Or rather a 3rd round for Triumph. Another kill for X there, though.
Yeah, and you know that killed B-Will's getting, or rather, I forget who it was that ran through that. So Walco, that's who it was. That's just a little bit
Ambitious.
overzealous. Yeah, you say overzealous, I say ambitious. Tomato, tomato. It certainly was not ideal, and I think he was obviously just trying to take advantage of a timing. But the problem is that a team of Triumph's caliber rarely going to be leaving that flank wide open. And it's all about the timing. That timing simply not working out that time around, and so RBG lose the round off the back of it. Despite the fact that it looked like it could have been a pretty good retake with the tagged players, but that AWP is so expensive, you don't want to be giving that away.
Yeah, and especially if you're possibly giving it away to Cooper. We haven't seen him do much yet. He hasn't had it, I believe, only in 1 round, and he did obviously get that entry pick with it. So obviously we're seeing signs of Cooper's up and the potential, but still just not sure what happened there. No clue what's going on. There might be a tech pause. I'm looking to see.
Their coach came in. That's
okay. Yeah, so it's been a couple of timeouts for Triumph. One was okay, this is a tech pause, yeah.
Yeah, so, I have to imagine that their coach was either having an issue or it was late and they're just getting in.
Okay. So not bringing out those timeouts just yet. Not too worried as Triumph. They're still pretty confident. Early days in the game, so have plenty of opportunity to get themselves back into this early on. I will say they haven't quite bridged the gap of money on the side of RBG. And look at this fast banana control. They start 3B, but already take it pretty easily. So nades go in towards the top of banana. Do good damage to Walco. But it does look like they're just going to leave Wolf alone on the B bomb site and allow for the round to kind of slow down here. With this banana control, they kind of hold so much of the map in their hands and kind of put some pressure, or at least that time pressure, on the top of Triumph on their executes.
You know, and that's been something that RBG has been doing pretty darn well. And here now, close range, Wolf ready and waiting. The peek comes in. It is just a 1-for-1 though, so it is something, but not all that great considering that the CTs are going to have to spread back out. It was a risk leaving Wolf there alone, and that time he gets found out fairly early on in the endeavor. So the push to come over here at B. Utility out, and there it goes. Nobody's home here on the site at the very least. Of course, one player sitting ready and waiting in church for this retake, but still, a retake it will be. 4-on-4 as the spams come through the smoke, but nothing found.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing I immediately look for is the utility on RBG, and this time they don't have the mollies, they don't have the same exact nades that they were able to retake last time, and they're also in a 4v4, so not in that same advantage here. Is probably a smoke towards Banana going to come through here shortly, and I think it did just land. Flashbangs to follow it up here. Now they execute. Whether the retake going to come in. It's Cynic with 2 quick kills to try and slow things down, but he's now just left alone, and somehow, like, just a well-oiled machine, they all find their kills. Look at that. It's a team ace from RBG.
Those retakes have looked incredible here on the B site.
So perfectly
and to be
timed.
fair, it's not. It's also looked good on the A side, but we just haven't needed to see a retake.
Yeah, true.
So like, yeah, the timing, the flashes, the nades, everything just really well practiced. It looks like for RBG on this. It is their map pick. We've been talking about it. It's to be expected to a certain extent, but it's still really impressive and fun to watch to see something like that go down. But look at the pace. It's been picked up. But Walko gets the nade frag as Shakezula swings around. But it is just a trade. Or rather, as Viz swings around, but Shakezula trades. So 1 for 1, all things considered. Not too bad here for Triumph, but the reaggression is there. It's good for 1 for 1, but not much more. And, well, Triumph, they come out on top. And AWP recovered as well for Cooper. We talked about how dangerous he can be with this weapon. Can Hex pull off this 1v2?
Hey, right there, we just saw the dream scenario for the T side right there. 3 trades go back and forth, and, you know, it's pretty much just fights granted over to Triumph and the fights that they were hoping for, as well as it is going to be Hex trying to make Cooper a little bit uncomfortable in this new box position. Gonna peek in through Garden. But still, Cooper not giving up anything here, waiting instead for Cynic's cross, although no one's quite holding it. Hex needs to pick up the pace, but certainly do some damage, and now it looks like he's kind of called it off. Definitely waiting for Cooper. Instead, Cynic able to find that kill. 5 HP, barely alive, but we'll be quite happy with that round. And I really like that attempt from RBG to take that banana control, but unable to do so.
I think I would have liked to see a couple more flashes over Banana.
Yeah, or Wiz hit his shot. I think was kind of critical there with the op.
Yeah, I mean you're right about that too. But I think more key from me is I want to see Hex go for that 1-on-2. Like you're saving this round pretty much regardless. You saved that. I mean you could have maybe bought it if you saved, but he didn't save. So I think you go for that 1v2. You just try instead of kind of waiting it out and looking for a mistake.
Yeah, certainly the case there. It was worth an attempt for sure. We're waiting for just a very slow round. Could be Walko this time doing his best chop impression of forcing them into that B stack, although now there's only 2 players on this A-bomb site, so not quite the stack that RBG are hoping for, and it does look like a very similar play that came back to bite them this time. Looking for some picks, there goes Wiz, and it should be Walko, or rather Hex soon to follow, and yeah, he does go down. So now just the 2 pistols left alive. Walko and Chop looking to find any sort of damage. Walko going through the smoke. They actually bump heads here. They trade positions, and now, yeah, he peeks out. Good play from Shake to make sure he's covering his paces. Spams down Chop straight through the smoke. And it's a 5th round for Triumph. They're doing a good job of fighting back here.
They certainly are. I mean, they, you know, opening stages of this game, they really looked like they were struggling. They were struggling. And now with a couple of nice little breaks and a couple of good rounds, they're right back into things. So, you know, 7-5 at the moment. Still a bit left to play here for the first half, but nonetheless, the armory is very much available for RBG in this one. And aggressive once more is Viz, who wants to get up close and personal with this AK-47. The swing's good, though. And Walko wins that out with ease. So this maybe need to rethink that that aggressive strategy, mate. It's not been giving you a whole lot of success.
Yeah, it's definitely been a little bit of a rough game so far for Viz. Hasn't been able to break into those sites just yet, although he did get a lot of map control. That peek from Walko, I thought there was a flash, but it didn't look like it blinded Viz at all. It just looked way too strong, so really good setup here as well. Hex in a 1-for-1 position, but able to nearly get out, unable to do so though, and so now it leaves just Wiz alone on the site. He does have an AWP, and he does have his teammate of Wolf grouped up with him, so has to find some nice shots here to pretty much delayed this push. Allowed time for a third player to rotate in, at least to watch their arch, at least to cover that bit of map, so that they don't have to watch their backs. Both players able to post up. Here's a lurk smoke goes out of the apartments. Wolf just holding the line with his teammate here, waiting for the peaks, waiting for his opportunity. Smoke goes into its sight, and nice heads-up play from Cooper to expect that just full swing. A quick scope, a quick kill. Now they still have to take care of Wiz, but there's a smoke that making things so much more hard. Cooper gets himself another kill. This is why you do not want to give him the AWP. He's still ready to clear sight. They're clearing out all the angles. It's Wiz with one. Kasti get another. Cannot find it. Leaves Walco in a 1v2. Bomb going to get down safely. So Wiz, or rather Walco, not able to find that. Does have a nice lineup towards pit. Does that land enough to force Bewolves out? It does not. So we'll still have to worry about that position. And Bewolves just kind of watching for the cross here. Instead, it's going to be Senek to close it out. And an unbelievable couple of entries from Cooper. Really secure that round.
And you know, not only the entries, but the utility from Triumph. Those smokes put in prime positions. I don't know if they heard the scope of the EWP or what, or if they just had, you know, obviously you expect at least one player on site. Doesn't really matter if it's an AWP or not. But the positioning in order to deny the crossfires is so good, right? And those smokes do exactly that. And obviously Cooper finding cracks with that AWP certainly helps. But yeah, RBG gotta go back to the drawing board a little bit after that one. I think they had a lot of good ideas, but nothing really working out in their favor. And ultimately, the trades don't go their way. Much like that other gun round over at B, actually, where they got aggressive here. It just, the trade's not really working out in their direction.
Yeah, definitely looking like they've slowed down quite a bit. Although that's a nice pickup there from Wolf. But instantly taken back from the likes of Cynic here, making sure that they hold down the line. Even things out once again. Hex gets his head taken down, and Wako now left alone. Cynic just finds a 4K. He was the sole lurk on the A-bomb site, and he does it all, clearing out every angle. That's what you kind of are hoping for when you're watching Cynic, is just to find all of those picks, make so much space for his team. It's at least what we've seen him do on Rebirth, and now seeing it once again.
To be fair, Viz was there too.
Yeah.
Viz is having a little bit of a rough game here, folks. 2-11 at the moment. Just a slow start. And honestly, he's been the guy to try an entry quite a few times as well, and that's just been a bit of a rough spot against RBG in this half. So we'll see how it goes here. Cooper's had the most success, but this time Cynic is the one. It's tagged down heavily.
Oh,
but
Chop!
Okay. Oh my goodness, Chop! Through the smoke, and he gets two! Chop! Absolutely incredible stuff there from Chop to pick up a double frag coming through mid. An absolute madman. This is now a player advantage. RBG have brought this back from not so ideal to not too bad. Zula, though, in pretty good position to push up mid. Chop not ready for it now. It's going to have to be the win. Yes, Wiz does pick that up now with 3 players against 2. RBG is in a good spot.
Cynic is hiding it as well. He still hasn't made his position known. He gets another kill. Viz ready to show up in this round, and such an important one to do so. Somehow, at the very last couple rounds, it's Triumph that actually win that half, and that is absolutely massive. For how strong RBG was looking at the start of this, to come back and win the half as a whole is so massive. Was not expecting
really
that
is.
at all.
You know, and I don't actually think, you know, sometimes you have a conversation, right? Like XYZ person, player, whatever team, you know, stepped up, had a bit of a whiff or whatever. I actually think this time Triumph were the ones that really stepped things up there in the latter stages of the half. They just didn't look like the same team. The team that was falling flat on their face there in the opening, you know, maybe 7 rounds, they showed up in the last 8. And they kind of put RBG in a tough spot now on their T side. Granted, again, this is for an Inferno team. Like, your T side is sometimes your better side. As stupid as that is.
Yeah. It can be really hard to
the
hold on CT side if you're getting like strong executes thrown to you. I get what you mean. I've been there before.
Yeah.
You're just dreading switching over to your CT side because, you know, you might not have things prepared.
This rotate strike You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, there's just so many things that are really tough, I think, on the CT side, despite the favorability of it in a lot of ways. So I'm curious to see what RBG bring here. I know you've seen them here on their T side before. This is my first time, though, so I'm very interested to see tactically what we're going to be bringing out and how that's going to shake out.
Yeah, I imagine just banana control would be more of an emphasis. Triumph seemed like a lot of rounds were either really interested in it and did get taken down early on, or just kind of focused on the A bomb site, which was more often the case. But yeah, it just looks like a pretty slow piss round. Very same, or rather similar sets of utility. This time no kit though in Triumph's pockets. So instead of playing that so often retake towards the B bomb site, they've actually stacked 3 players up. One towards Emo, one and Coffins, and B-Will's holding things down from triple, but that might be the right call as well.
Is that not called New Box anymore? I mean, it's
I
not
have
new.
triple,
To be
new
clear.
box. It's I've heard it all before. I call
I
it both as well.
It's been so long since I've actually played competitive Counter Strike instead of just watching competitive
See,
Counter
I feel
Strike.
like triple is more of like a European call for it, but
Oh, yeah,
new
that's a good
box
com. Yeah.
is more like North American, at least from what I've seen. Because over on ESL they call it triple,
Oh,
which
good
I've
shout.
yeah. It is gonna be Molly though, triple or new box, whatever you want to call it, and it does kind of force likes of B-Wills to smoke it rather, and that's a nice opening there. Walko deletes likes a Cynic. B-Wills take it down as well, and this hold, you kind of get to see it's a very similar setup there. It's like, why are you trying to hold down the P-bomb site when executing is so effective? And Hax finds himself 2 more on the 3K. It's pretty much wraps for Cooper. He's going to try and save that armor. Honestly, not a bad idea because there's no shot you got it in the 1v5. No kid as well, so.
Yeah, not on B. Like,
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, to be fair, not on A either, but not on this map, I should say. The
Yeah, I mean,
1v5
maybe
from
the
a
best you
CT
could hope for
just
is a
tough.
ninja. Yeah.
Right, yeah. If let's just put it this way: if RBG aren't just throwing their bodies at Cooper, like he just doesn't win. That's just how it goes, unfortunately for Inferno. If you're a CT trying to retake, but nonetheless, a great pistol round, a couple of nice shots, particularly that shot from Walko, the opener. Man, that looked pretty. P250. There's a reason you buy it up to take that push and entry with, and it is not only to get out some utility, but definitely because that one-shot potential on the T side from distance is very powerful and effective. So
Oh, the
you do
deco.
like to see it. Oh, you're right. This is a classic deco with 5 smokes as well. Interesting. We'll see if it's going to be effective. I think the 5 smokes can make this work pretty well.
Yeah. Combining the smokes with the deagles and just like forcing teams to either push through the smoke or delay out the round long enough to where they have to late round execute. Although that's a really huge pick there. Wolfie just barreling through the apartment somehow with the blinded up Cynic, able to find another kill as well. It's pretty much the site taken here as Shake and B-Will's wondering. I mean, did you even get to see a single smoke thrown with the? I don't think the CTs got to throw the. No,
No
Shake didn't get to
smokes.
throw his smoke. B-Will's probably not going to be able to throw his, depending on how this goes. But
I mean, it's not been going well. in
yeah,
squad.
I think that there wasn't a
So-
single smoke being able to throw there.
No, okay. So like, just back to what you were saying though, Cole. Like to be fair, like it is a good idea. The difference there is that Wolf just
Wolfie.
walks
Wolf.
like straight runs through smokes, and didn't even allow for a smoke to be thrown. So like, if RBG were playing the game where they allowed for Triumph to just wait that round out and slow it down, then that would have worked effectively. But Wolf was having none of that BS. He was like, no.
Yeah, you'd have to imagine that he threw on his sunglasses and for that play. Unfortunately, we don't have the player cams like DreamHack, but
Darn.
we can picture it in our heads, and he's gonna probably do it again this round. He's been a menace in the apartments. Finds himself another kill. It's 5 kills so far, at least in the first half here. Is Viz waiting in apartments with a Zeus. A couple Zeuses actually in play. Triumph still, they're feeling confident enough to, you know, play a little bit for fun here. Try and do some good damage. Those Zeuses can certainly
Hey.
do work.
Hey, the Zeus is a very economical weapon. Okay,
I mean,
$200 dues, and you have an entire kit.
Shake's playing in CT spawn with a Zeus.
Okay, well listen, I can't defend all the players' positions. I'm just defending the Zeus as a weapon at this point in time. Okay, like
If
come
you're
on.
Viz, buy Zeus by all means. You can catch Wolfie, you know, running through the apartments. Maybe you get a free kill there, but Shake is, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I want to see his POV. Yeah, look, he's looking. What are you gonna do with this? There's just no way. I mean,
That's a tough spot.
I don't know. Oh, Hex actually taking a good bit of damage, but yeah, maybe we should just see us save Zeus round. Okay, if he gets a kill and makes me eat my words, I'm gonna be upset.
You better be careful.
Come on, Shake, don't do this to me. Thank you.
Oh, there you go.
Is Shake's picture? Is that?
Wait,
That's hexed?
I don't know. I actually don't know that one. Might be.
I've got to look up the HLTV to see their pictures. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, there it
you
is!
go.
There it is.
Nice.
Now he's got to rebuy everything.
Okay,
eh?
but it's Viz though. It's Viz. He was already positioned in a prime
right.
spot. Viz is.
You're right.
Viz has been setting. He's well versed in the art of Zeus.
The art of Zeus, like it's a
Yeah.
kung fu form or something.
Yeah. Shake's profile picture is just hexed.
That's hilarious.
Are you trying to get in
that
his
that
head?
is. Wait, yeah, I was about to say that is like an entirely new form of like a mental game playing, where you're just the other player's profile pictures, like them IRL, and they're just like, yeah, what you gonna do about it? Ain't nothing you can do about it. That's right. I love that. That's big brain. I'm sure they're just friends and they're just memeing, but
Oh,
you know
yeah.
what? I'm gonna play it up for the trolls as
Yeah.
if it's some big conspiracy thing and Hex hates it or whatever.
You know what I don't hate is Wolf's profile picture. Or well, no, Wolf's profile picture isn't even of him. It's just Walco
Zero.
and Hex. It's gonna be a nice trade. Shake able to take one down as well as B Wills, and there goes that banana control that RBGs love so much. It's a really rough spray from Hex as he is able to find that trade. Gets himself into mini pit, so he is going to be locked in this position. I think that... Oh, but Cooper not able to hit that op shot there. That allows him to get into sight. Nade goes in as well, but they still have to worry about these fast rotates here. There's all three players circling them like sharks here as Hex throws that molly in towards Porch. Just gathering their utility as much as they can, and it is very crucial that Wolfie, or rather, I believe it's Hex actually in mini pit. Yeah, he's able to play this headshot angle, just hiding, waiting for this contact from Wolfie. Flash goes in, it's a really good flash. Wolfie gets one, and it just all falls apart right there.
That's so big, man.
Such
Like,
good post plants.
Absolutely, and that flash on perfect timing from Hex as well. Just what it did, by the way, like it's really easy to miss this because, or rather, it wasn't from Hex, it was from Wolf who had that flash left. But it's really easy to miss. But what that flash did is it forced off the AWP for just a moment, and allowed for Wolf to find the frag, and then for Hex to swing out and find the AWP player while they were still disoriented from the flashbang. Such a huge play, man.
Yeah, that's, I mean, again, it's just kind of showing a little bit of RPG's bread and butter there. They have that long-standing core of Wiz, Walko, and Hex, so using that to their effective and able to just really play it unbelievably well together right there. So we're going to see an A side execute. They've left one player over towards logs here, certain to be checked. As, oh no, they actually fall off. That's a really nice kill from Viz as well, being a menace in the apartments there. Falls off, gets out of dodge, and does alleviate so much pressure here. A minute left on the clock, and right now it seems like RBG a little bit unsure of where they want to head. Seems like they're a little bit lost. Very Triumph early T-side-esque style right now. And this time they're going to group up towards the B-bomb site. B-will still has a smoke though, and that's so perfectly timed. This is going to get so much harder. They're going to have to either run through the smoke, which if they did now would be good timing, but they can't really tell what the situation is. And now the rotates have arrived. Cooper going to get so much information towards mid. Couldn't really ask for much worse. Shake now grouped up with the Mag 7. This is going to be such a difficult round. They got 20 seconds left.
They gotta go.
You got to make
I
a
don't
move
know.
on.
Yeah, there's the move, but is it far too late? Shake close by. Max 7 first is there. Great headshot. Does get the kill there, Wiz. But another shot there from Shake. Finds 2 with the Mag 7. And now they're lined up with Cooper, who picks them both out. That was so great from Triumph. They got all the info. And RBG, your comparison to early Triumph is on point because they timed themselves out.
Yeah, that was all on the backs of B-Wills right there with that one smoke that pretty much changed around. You could see that if they knew to push through that smoke, they would have, I mean, honestly, had opened up the bomb site. But that smoke delays RBG out until like 15 seconds left in the round. And obviously, when you're executing into a site with 3 players in it, and 15 seconds left, that's just never going to work for you. Really good round from B-Wills there with the utility. I don't even know if he got a kill. I think he hid new box, but did so much with just that one smoke.
Well, you know, and on top of that, right? Like Shake somehow finds 2 kills with the Mag 7. Like you should never find 2 kills with the Mag 7 on top of that box. Like it's a one and done position. And well, one and done is B-Wills. As that's a frag and another as well. The flash is on point this time for RBG as they pick up both frags to open up this site, leaving it in simply a 3-on-5. There's utility for the retake here for Triumph, but honestly, it's kind of looking impossible. Surely they just save, right?
Yeah, I think that's already pretty much the call here. They want Cooper on the op, certainly. They want their decent weaponry. Look at this. I think, yeah, the Hex is getting back at Shake. That's brilliant. Oh, man, he's not having it. That's got to feel just so relieving for Hex right there, getting that pick onto him and then just spraying down his body. Some good BM right there, all in all. But well, I don't think even Shake didn't even get to see that. He's spectating his teammates. He has no idea what's going on. If he's watching the VOD back, he knows.
Yeah, I was about to say he's watching this VOD back. You know he is. They're doing the old VOD review.
Oh yeah, especially Shake.
Yeah, and he's like, that guy just sprayed my body. How dare, you know? It's gonna be in the pugs later. It's gonna be a combo.
Oh yeah, certainly. Double op setup here. Shake getting that secondary op. He's probably gonna be playing over towards Banana. He often does. Yeah, he's been definitely hit or miss with this op towards Banana. He's been able to get abused. He's also done a lot of work with it, so we'll see what he can find here. It's gonna be very low HP to start the round off, but luckily on the other side of the map you got Cooper finding picks towards apartments, so a good start right now for Triumph, who finally get that man advantage. And last time that they had the man advantage, they did a really good job of closing the round out with kind of forcing RBG to feel a little bit uncomfortable. On top of that, they have a really strong porch side setup with Cooper holding down the line here from porch. Smoke for the molly, and that's going to make things that much harder. They peek into his op. That's another pick. Still Cynic close by, ready to find anyone that walks out. Walco eats the brunt of that one, and now it is going to be a op fight here. Chop gets taken down. This should be pretty much wrapped up. Wiz blinded it up 1v4. Very little to do here, trying to find a shot onto Cooper. Cooper's still taking the fight. I appreciate that. He'll find it even. Ooh. Very good job from Cooper. That is exactly why you want him to save that weapon.
Yeah, I was about to say, Cooper, some vintage fragging right there. The kill over in apartments, you know, to open the round, as well as those couples. I love the bait setup on short underneath the balcony there at A. It's so solid. You know, you bait the player in with that AWP shot, and they think, oh well, it's fine, and then walk straight out in the corner, only to be shot in the back by a player sitting balcony, or under balcony, I should say. It's such an old school play, and it works so often. Walco in a brilliant spot to pick up that frag, does get naded down to, well, hell, as he gets taken out, but fortunately, it is a trade on the other side of the map. Chop wins that duel out. Now the AWP ready and waiting. Remember what Cooper did last round. Can he find more? Gonna have to do something. Now the push through the smoke
my
a little bit. That's a little bit of a forward position. I have to keep it real. Cynic, you know, even with the flashbangs, now it's Cooper left in a 1-on-3.
Yeah, we'll see if Cooper goes for it. I've seen some heroics from Cooper so far this season. This might be too much to ask. 1v3, bomb planted, and very strong post plants. You see that there's one player in graveyard, one player in pit. You couldn't really ask for a better scenario right now if you're RBG and Cooper just waiting for any sort of exit picks. But yeah, that's a really nice couple of picks there. Obviously, I don't know what Shake was expecting when he peeked down banana. It seemed like maybe the mollies didn't quite line up perfectly, and so he just jumps to his death pretty much. Really nice opener from, I believe, Walco, and now will beat Cooper just barely running around the corner in time. It's the rest saving pit. But yeah, again, there's kind of the part of the criticism where, you know, maybe it was just a missed molly. I'm not sure what happened there. 'Cause Shake looked like 100% confident that there was no chance that there'd be a player close by. He was pretty much jumping on that half wall with his knife out.
Yeah, he did. I think that there had to have been a miscommunication or some sort of missed utility, something that allowed for Walco to be there. Because, yeah, there's just no way Shake was thinking, yeah, there's a player going to be here. Not from the body language, but, well, this is a nice hold as well. Bills with one, and Shake with another. But Walco, the follow-up, the grenade is solid. Does trade one back, so this puts Triumph in still a good position with the double AWP, but RBG are still in this. They're definitely not out of it yet, particularly if they group up and hit a site very effectively. There's two players committed over here towards Arch. Flash comes in well. It does, but Cooper doesn't need to see. He just shoots the gun and gets the frags.
Yeah, that's just beautiful right there. The timing couldn't have been any better, and it does allow for Cooper to find that kill there. It is still an opened up A bomb site. There's only a pretty strong setup towards site here. So yeah, you're going to see later on Cooper kind of rotate in. Shake holding the top of banana with this AWP. Glock comes down to this shot here. They're ready to swing into it. There you go. Nice job from Shake. Won't miss those. And Wiz now in a 1v4. Just running straight through the smoke. Shake gets himself a 3K. And there is a round where he does hit right there. It's a very strong round from Shake. B-Wills as well. Holding from sandbags, not giving up his ground. He did die to the nade eventually, but really strong setup there towards banana, and they punish RBG's fast-paced aggression. Timeout could be called.
Yeah, not sure who this timeout is by, but I hope it's RBG's. One, because you got to figure out what to do with this money.
It's
RBG. Very split. And the other part of that is that, you know, Triumph, it just took it to you in a couple of rounds in a row, and RBG looked a little bit lost in those, to put it bluntly. So I need to see some adjustments. I want to see something different from them. Something, you know, they've tried to change up the pace. That's not been super effective. This double AWP setup is pretty strong. And on top of that, when you look at the utility available for Triumph, pace swap on Inferno, when the utility is so strong for the CTs, it just doesn't work. I mean, it can work, but it's so very rare, right? Like, you're not going to see that working out all too often against teams that are using this utility effectively. And we've seen that Triumph are using their utility quite effectively. So I need to see something different. They've elected to buy in here. What do you think about that, Cole? Right decision or wrong?
I'm not really that against it. If they win this round, it can kind of swing the game into their favor. You see that Triumph's money is not looking too good, and if they could just find a couple of B picks here, it'll definitely look pretty good there. That's a nice start. Shake missing up on that op shot here, trying to get out. He will be able to, just barely, but a good amount of map control gained in the way of RBG. Now a lot comes down to this apartments fight here. Wolf is solo. He's gonna hear one rotating off. He might be able to catch a timing onto Viz. Oh no, he doesn't. He just barely misses that out, and the kills go forward on the other side of the map. B-Wills just finds them all. 3 kills on B-Wills and 1 on Viz. Now it's just Walco left in a 1v4. He will... Oh, I mean, if he gets a plant, this is pretty big. Pretty good economy. Couple of... Well, just 1 low HP bar. He will be able to get that plant. Viz playing it very smart. Not overcommitting to holding down that site, make it a 1v3, and possibly give over a better weapon. And Walco doing what he can here. Gonna go a little bit aggressive to try and find any sort of control there. Yeah, we'll just be taken down by Cooper. Goes 1 for 1, but Really strong round right there from Triumph.
Well,
B
not
Wills,
too
man.
bad though, right? Like, I mean, he got $600 in his pocket there. Did the Walko and as well the bomb plant. So the money, whilst not ideal, is still better than it was for RBG. But
Yeah.
yeah, this is the struggle when you buy in there. The reality is that now Triumph should pick up a tied game, 13-13, and then that gun round for the 14th round is going to be of maximum importance. I also want to talk about real fast the B Will's setup there at B. He got boosted up onto the triple box, and that position's so key. RBG thought they had it. They thought they had it mollied, but of course he was on top. Some
Oh
good
no.
trades. Oh, that's massive. Two big guns as well. Cooper now the sole defender here of the A site. With AWP in hand, the double peek. They don't take advantage, and it's all falling apart. What looked so strong for RBG is now simply on to Walko, who's dispatched with ease. Cooper showing off those AWP skills that we've been talking about all game long.
Yeah, that was so important. Cooper had to do so much there. His entire A defense gets knocked down and leaves him alone. His repositioning into pit was really critical there as well, making sure that he puts himself in a position where he can play in and out, and obviously just able to find a couple of easy shots with his positioning there. So now we get into the 13-13, as you mentioned earlier. The good news for RBG is they made that round very expensive, puts Triumph back on somewhat low money. It's a 1-for-1 trade. This time Cooper taken down, and Hex running through flames. It's just a single player left on the site. Viz has to do it all, and he's been relatively quiet. Has to come up with an absolutely huge round of smoke. Go to the pit. He does get the first kill. He's got to get more, though. Wiz now next in line. He doesn't quite expect it. What are you looking at, Wiz? Hex falls down as well as that Moto smoke fades away and Cynic pushes through it. It's just Wolfie now, and Viz goes absolutely massive to get Triumph a 14th. Again, where it counts the most, Viz seems like he just turns on.
Yeah, I mean, and we talked about Viz having a slow game here at the beginning. He's not having the greatest of games, but he's 12-17 at the moment. It's not as if he's throwing or anything, not as if he's having the worst of games at all. He's definitely recovered well, and Triumph now at 14-13 on RBG's pick. This is absolutely devastating scenes if you're RBG, and well, honestly, I have to say that I'm not quite sure what Wiz was looking at there.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
Like,
I
you
don't know if it was
can't
a
be turning away.
miscommunication or what.
It had to have been some sort of call. It might have been something along the lines of let's just focus on the guy at site, which in fairness is not the worst of calls, but the timing of it was just brutal for Wiz, and so that ends in his death. And well, death once more for Hex as Cooper swings out, finds a frag. It is a trade though. A belated one at that, and Wolf, that's so massive. I guess RBG just needs to buy some some pistols, because they've had 2 rounds now in the last 3 or 4 where their pistols have simply looked on point.
Yeah, that's a couple of nice openings there from Chop and Wolf. Able to find at least the 3v3, and the key difference there from the last time they had the 3v3 is that they slowed the round down very quickly. Cynic can throw that mid smoke. He did kind of gather that there was no one towards apartments, and you'll see from this push from Shake that he's definitely getting himself a lot of map control. B-Wills throws that smoke, and they even rotate another player over, so have the strong B-side setup here. It should be a pretty easy cleanup here for Triumph as the op gets tossed over to Walko. Yeah, look at this position from Shake. It should seal the deal. It's such a good spot from Shake as they will just walk straight through that smoke. Did Cynic hear it? Now smoke, the flash goes in. He's not able to find it. Spray is a little bit labored. One player already in pit. It is going to be a kill from Walko. It does look like Cynic ready to go forward, but just gives up his life on the swing, and that could be the deal sealer here. Shake now left in a 1v2. He has to do it all. Nade should land on the Walko. Gets out just barely. Follow-up Molly, and he's able to catch Walko off guard, but can't find it. Chop swings off the contact. Brilliant job. RBG, they close that round out. It was very close, very down to the wire. But still, Triumph able to buy back up here.
Man, talk about finding a break and huge frags when you need them. RBG, their backs against the wall, looking up at what the round before map point, right? Or what would have been map point given over had that pistol
Mm-hmm.
round gone towards Triumph. They're looking at all of that, and they're able to pull off a miracle, a pistol round victory. And by the way, the first time I think we've seen pistol round victory in this game at all, like with the force buy. I don't think any other force buy is
Very little
actually worked.
ecos.
To be fair, yeah, there
I
has
think
not been a
I
lot.
think the RBG one at the start of the game, third round, was the only other one.
Well, I don't consider that. I consider that the bonus because Triumph for bonusing weapons.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, tomato tomato. I just consider it a choice as opposed to a full eco. But yeah, I mean definitely. Hey, has not been something we've seen all game really, and RBG pick it up at the perfect of times.
Yeah. Cooper, he's really looking to give himself an advantage here. And that was such a quick shot. Hex next in line. He's surprisingly not afraid to peek into that. I thought for sure he'd be terrified. But it will be another kill coming through from Cooper. This time he's on the B bomb site there. Just totally catching RBG off guard. They're expecting maybe a more passive setup, I'd imagine. This Cooper going back for more here. This is so lethal. Even looks like he's ready for it. Catches Wiz as he falls off. Nearly finds the third shot onto. I mean, I don't know. It's Cooper, man, taking control of the game. She's done so much. She's pretty much secured at the very least match point. And look at the money of RBG. They're still in this round, but they're down 2 players and looking to hit the B bomb set. They're going to need some sort of miracle.
Well, they dialed up a miracle in the last round. Can they dial up another one here? It's a tough ask here for RBG, but here it comes. The push. Flashes are in there. Chop swings with the team, but Viz is there with one. Cynic with another, and he's got two to close out the round to Cynic. So that is indeed map point there for Triumph on RBG's map pick, albeit, I mean, this has been a close game, but we were expecting RBG to kind of walk away with this thing.
Yeah, I mean, if this goes Triumph's way, they're going to clean up this series pretty easily. It's pretty much safe to say. I mean, RBG, this is kind of the map you had to win. You've got a good opportunity with Nuke. RBG are no slouches on Nuke, but this leaves RBG in a really rough spot here. As you can see, they've got to play for overtime, and they've got 2 Tech 9s. I won't count out their Tech 9s because of what we've seen so far from RBG with these weapons, but not the ideal scenario. And they're once again walking into Cooper here, and he's not ready to throw this one away here, holding down towards mid. So much control taken from the likes of Cooper here. Does look to be a Halls pop here. This is kind of I wouldn't say a desperate play, but certainly a play that's trying to catch Triumph off guard, and it's coming soon. That's a touchdown grenade. The follow-up molly's so good. Wolfie peeking out, gets traded, and Viz is still on top of the balcony. It's Cooper now through the smoke. It's Walco and Wiz left alone to save the day here, and Cooper finds himself another. It's all on Walco. It's all over. 16-14, and Triumph, they take map 1. That is so massive. I mean, you could not ask for a better start to the series right there.
Yeah, I mean, Triumph, what a turnaround. They started out really slow. They looked very sloppy. They looked like I mean, it just looked like they hadn't warmed up, to be honest.
That might be the case. Might be the
Yeah.
first game of the day. They're just getting into things. I don't know. Like you said, they flipped a switch somewhere in there. I don't know if it was their coach just, pulling the strings there, letting them know the business. Get your heads in the game. This is important for our playoff prospects. But, I mean, a 2-0 victory tonight would certainly give them a little bit of boost of confidence, and especially on a map like Inferno, which again is kind of what we mentioned earlier is not their greatest map, and able to take it off of RBG, which I would argue is their greatest map.
Yeah, exactly. And on top of that, I have to give a lot of credit over to Cooper.
Oh yeah,
Here in map number 1. Just CT side especially really stepped up big time. key triple frags, key double frags, key opening picks. Even on the T side, he had a bunch of key opening picks, right?
Mhm.
But Cooper's AWP was really the bread and butter of Triumph right there, and everything else kind of ran around that.
Yeah.
Um, whether it be B Wills, who had a lot of good holds, whether it be Cynic, who actually had a very good game as well,
Mhm.
or credit over to Viz, who had a really rough start
Yeah.
and really turned that around by the end. Like I was saying there, not like he was top fragging at the end of the game, but he was right there with everybody else,
Right.
having a perfectly reasonable game, and
And a couple
mentally
big rounds as
that's
well.
so hard. Yeah, exactly. Mentally, you start out a little bit slow, and it really can get to you. So props to Viz for not allowing that to be the case.
Yeah, I would say as well, just like starting off at such a slow game and then still being able to have that. I believe it was like that round that secured 8-7
Hmm.
was him having a really good entry, and then on top of that, him playing in pit, catching off Wiz when he was kind of that last line of defense was absolutely massive. But with that being said, I will start my plugging of Twitters and thankings. But huge shout out to RBG for hosting us here. They are one of the orgs that is hooking us up tonight. And on top of that, make sure you show some love to my fellow caster at Vincent Cast. Make sure to follow him on Twitter. He does a lot of good work in a bunch of different games, so show him some love right now. Go ahead, look him up on Twitter. But yeah, and I'm Xner20 on Twitter if you want to leave me a follow as well. But with that being said, we'll be back here shortly with map number 2, going to be played on Train.